Hi everyone, how are you? I am pretty sure that you're enjoying your seventh grade studies that you have been learning. In sixth class, we have learned some of the general terms because now in seventh class, you will be starting to learn some technical terms in all of the subjects. And I suppose your learning is going good because you're learning with us, right? Isn't it? Anyways, that's jokes apart. We are going to start the chapter, which is transportation. Obviously, that you must have clicked on. I'm going to share my screen and let's start learning. You will be able to see this presentation that I have created. Not totally, I will not take a credit of, but yeah, that's a picture. If you see this picture clearly, this is a person who probably do a lot of gym, and the person is just literally stretching his body like anything. If you do the same, like stretching arm, like you will see a lot of blood vessels. Obviously, we don't have such kind of body. Probably you might have that in future if you want to. But then these are all the blood flowing. These are all the veins and blood vessels, which is having a good pressure of blood. Yes, I'm coming to the topic. I'm trying to introduce the topic. We are going to learn all about this blood, how it is flowing, what part, it is in the body, what is, all about it. So the chapter is actually transportation in plants and animals. Then suddenly from the human vein, I'm just talking about the plants also. Actually, there is a thing which is known as fluid, which is moving in all of the living organisms, even if it is a cockroach, a lizard, us, starfish, or anything, they all have a system into their body through which a fluid is moving. That fluid is actually helping in transportation and in doing a number of activities. In our case, that's blood. And in our case, we call it as the blood vascular system. In case of plant, that's conducting system. They have the water for the conduction. With the water, everything is moving. So what I want to say that all living creature have something which is helping the fluid and the molecules and enzymes and hormone, whatever has to move in movement. That's helping them up. Anyways, the first thing that we have to cover is about the human. First of all, let me tell you, there is a point which is known as transportation. Transportation means when molecules and liquid, they are moving. This is all about movement of molecules. Water is also a molecule, so including water also into the body. There's always a conducting system. Yes, first we are going to cover about the animals in human. If I talk about in human, this conducting system is actually known as circulatory system. In human, we call it as the circulatory system. The circulatory system, it has the circulating things. Here, the circulation is happening where not always blood, but other fluid is also there. Like suppose you're eating a lot of chocolates. Now, if you eat a lot of chocolates, glucose level of our body is going to increase. Then our body is going to release a hormone, which is known as insulin. It is released and it controls the level of glucose. From where it is getting released? How it is getting transported? It is released in pancreas that you might be learning later, but for now you just remember it is released and it will be moving up at the location where glucose level has to be decreased via blood. Yeah, in the blood glucose is more. So it will be released and moving through the blood and working in the blood. What I want to say that blood helps in transportation, not only of this hormone, but a number of enzymes. Number of enzyme, number of molecules, number of things. Like suppose you're having any kind of injury. You're playing outside and you just get any kind of injury and then you're bleeding like anything. After a while, what do you see? The bleeding stops and the area, after not a while, but in a day or 4 to 5 hours, you will say it has started healing. How that happens? Blood is transporting something for the healing process. It's all a different mechanism. It is a mechanism that happens. This is all about the circulatory system. In circulatory system, there are actually in human, if I talk about, there are two circulatory systems. One, which is known as blood circulatory system. And another is known as lymphatic circulatory system. So blood circulatory system, it consists of blood, blood vessels, and heart. Blood is there, which has a number of things in it and which is flowing inside the blood vessels. And then there is heart. These things are the one which are making blood circulatory system. Now talking about the lymphatic system. Actually, lymphatic system, this is a part of, you may say, protecting system of the body. This is a part of immune system. Immune system. We always use this term that I have a strong immune system. I have this, I'm immune to this. What is immune system? Immune system doesn't mean it's like a proper system having organs and all. I'm having a skin that's protecting me from any kind of infection. It is also a part of immune system. I'm having saliva in my mouth. If I eat something junk, my enzymes in my saliva, they're going to eat that up junk, eat the microorganism first. And then food will be good and then I can eat it. That doesn't mean that you can eat junk because it has too much of it. It has a limit. That is also part of immune system. I am breathing. There might be dust particle, but my nose is going to filter it out. That is also a part of immune system. Immune system is everything that is protecting us. One of the strong part of the immune system is known as lymphatic system, which has maximum cells in it which are protecting us. Yes, it consists of lymph. Like we do have the blood flowing in the blood vessels. Lymphatic system has the lymph flowing in the lymphatic vessels. Lymph is nothing but it is a fluid. It is a fluid which is, you may say, transparent form of blood. I mean, if you remove all the red things in the blood, RBC, red blood cells, so if you remove those things, so it's a leftover part, and it has only protecting function. It has also a proper system in our body. You will learn in detail, don't worry. So there is lymph, there is lymphatic vessels. Not the heart, but lymphatic organs. So these are the circulatory system, things present in our body. And today we will be learning about the blood circulatory system, including blood and blood vessels. So on the next screen, guys, what I have done, I have just mentioned a little about the transport. The transport in animal, that's the combined effort of the circulatory system and the excretory system. Blood, this is the fluid that flows in the blood vessel and transport the digested food from the small intestine to various parts of the body. Like you're eating a lot of food, and then in your stomach, this is digested. You must have learned digestive system. Into the intestine, all the nutrients of the food are absorbed. After everything is absorbed inside your intestine, it is absorbed and going in the blood only. And through the blood, it will be moving wherever it is needed. Are you getting my point? There are two types of blood vessels, arteries and veins. So the first thing that we have to cover is actually about the blood. And then we will be talking about the blood vessels. Okay. So let's move forward. Okay, so on the right side, the picture is here, not the mind picture, but that diagram. This is a person having heart and arteries and veins are there with red and blue color. Why the color? Are they actually red and blue? I'm going to answer the question later. But first thing we have to understand is blood. Okay. So guys, one thing I would like to ask, have you ever tasted your blood? By any mistake, you cut through a blade or any injury and then you're like, tasting your blood. It's okay. If you have not tasted, find a way and taste it. How it tastes, if you have tasted, little salty, little metallic because of the pH. It has a number of things in it. It has a number of cells in it. Yeah. Blood is red in color. Basically, suppose I'm taking a blood in a test tube and I'm keeping the blood for an hour or two, just like that. And then you will see that all the red part has been settled down. And then this is not that completely transparent, but like pale thing, light colored. That is known as plasma. In the blood, 55% is plasma and rest is red blood cells, and little buffy coat as in appears to be little, translucent, not transparent, little opaque. Okay. Now, what things are present in the plasma? Plasma, it consists of the clotting factors. Clotting factor means the blood clot. Like suppose you're having an injury and then blood after injury it's flowing up and then after a while it will stop. The reason being this clotting factor are the one which are helping it to clot. Clot means to form a lump, kind of, to let it accumulate and dry. Okay. It also consists of proteins and a number of nutrients and number of micromolecules. Micro means small molecules, which are actually nutrients. Ions. Anything I can think of? Yeah, that's it. These things are present. These proteins are actually also the part of our immune system. Into blood also, they wherever they are going, they are providing us immunity. So that proteins are also participating in providing immunity. You know what? You must have heard about the word antibody. Antibody means which are the protecting cells. The not protecting cells, but these are the protecting structure. They are not the cells. These are made up of protein. This is also present in the blood plasma part, but antibody is a protecting structure which is protein in nature. Anyways, now talking about what are the things are present in the cell, that include WBC, RBC, and platelets. WBC are also known as leukocyte. Guys, wherever you see the word LEUCO, it means, or LEUKO, that means something is white or transparent. Okay, so that is, I know LEUCO, both spellings are correct. That's just US and UK thing, language thing, but WBCs are those one. And one thing you have to, okay, one thing you don't have to remember right now. I'll tell you in the next slide. Okay, next, platelets. Thrombocytes. Actually, thrombo word has been taken from protein name as thrombin. That thrombin is nothing but it is the clotting factor, a protein which helps in blood clotting. That's why thrombocyte platelets help in blood clotting. They are also known as thrombocyte. Now the next one is the red blood cells. So red blood cells are also known as erythro. Wherever you see the word erythro, that means something is red. Erythrocyte, red blood cells. So this is a composition of the blood. And now individually, I'll give you little information about all of them. So the first one that we have to talk about is nothing but look at a diagram first. Monocyte, lymphocyte, neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, macrophage. Guys, these all 6 or 7, whoever they all are type of WBC. White blood cell is not a cell. White blood cell is a group of cell. It has many cells in it. They are of different types and they all are protecting in function. I'll tell you, but for now, just remember the name. Monocyte, macrophage, lymphocyte, neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. They all are type of WBC. Now, the next one is erythrocyte and platelets. Erythrocyte is the red blood cell and platelet is the thrombocyte. Now, let's have a quick discussion on individual types of the blood cell. First one is red blood cell. First of all, guys, remember why red color? Red color, reason being they have a pigment into them which is known as hemoglobin. This hemoglobin, it has protein in structure, but this is the pigment which is present into the RBC. And it is the one which is having red color. That's why. Now, talking about the red blood cells, they are the biconcave structure. Biconcave means on both of the sides, concave structure is there. If you have learned lenses in physics, but yeah, biconcave structure. And they have no nucleus in them. If a question is asked somewhere that red blood cell is having no nucleus, why? Why? Because then in that case, they can carry maximum hemoglobin. You know what? Red blood cells mainly help in transport of oxygen. In our body, we have billions and billions of cells. These all cells, they have many functions to do and they need oxygen for doing that function. How they take the oxygen? Blood is the one which is providing them oxygen. How blood is taking oxygen? With the help of hemoglobin molecule. This hemoglobin molecule, it make complex with oxygen molecule and then this is transported to all the cells and tissues of the body. Like suppose I'm breathing in, breathing out. Means I'm taking oxygen in. I mean, I'm taking air in, but my body is only selecting oxygen. I'm taking air in, my lungs will take oxygen and it will go and give it to all the part of the body. And then my body will produce CO2. All the cells, they will use oxygen and they will throw out carbon dioxide after using it up. And that CO2 also through the blood will move back and through the lungs, and then we breathe out. That is the exchange that happens. But into the blood, hemoglobin is the one that is helping in the transport of oxygen. Are you getting my point? If you do not get, play the video again, move back, listen to me carefully again, okay? Okay. So now the next thing, this is helping in the transport of oxygen. One hemoglobin can carry 4 oxygen molecules at a time. The age, first of all, age of RBC is 3 to 4 months, and their birthplace is bone marrow. You know what? They also die. They have an age. Their death happen. There is a lymphatic system, you know that. There is a part of lymphatic system which is known as spleen. This is nearby the abdomen region, nearby the stomach region, little, yeah. That is known as a spleen. It is a part of lymphatic system. There they die. One more fact. You know why urine is of yellow color? The reason being the RBCs after getting dyed, that's the reason that little part is filtered out, they change the structure and they get into the urine, and that's why the urine is pale yellow. Okay. That's it. So point is that if you talk about RBC, you may say that hemoglobin is not only helping in oxygen transport, but also helping in oxygen transport of carbon dioxide, because it is taking carbon dioxide back from tissues to the lungs, and then we filter it out. We just breathe it out. So that's all about RBCs. Now let's have a little discussion on WBC. Okay, WBC. First of all, they are the immunity providing cells of the body. They are the one who are actually fighting. They are the warriors of the body. So they are immunity providing cells of the body. Now you might be thinking that lymphatic system is also providing immunity, and WBCs are also actually blood and lymphatic system. They both provide immunity. Into the lymphatic system, number of these WBCs are more. In this case, that is also there. So they are of different type. You see how beautiful they are, looking to be transparent or whitish color, basophil, neutrophil. How they are different from each other? If you look at the central part is known as nucleus, and nucleus is different in all of them, and that is how we differentiate them up. These are all the types. You know, monocyte and lymphocyte and neutrophil. I repeat myself, monocyte, lymphocyte, and neutrophil. They can eat the pathogen. Sorry. They can eat the pathogen. If pathogen means infectious agent, that if any infectious agent which is causing infection enter our body, they are going to literally eat it up, take it and digest it up, throw the waste out. Like that happens. Literally. Anyways, WBC, they are also known as leukocyte, and they have age of 2 to 3 days. They are also found in bone marrow, and they are also dyed in the skin. Is that clear? So you will say they are the colorless, and they do not have any regular shape. If you see their shape, they do not have any regular shape. So no regular shape of WBC. Next, if you want to talk about the function, you will say they are providing immunity to the body and healing the wounds. They provide immunity to the body and heal the wound. This is all about the WBC. Now we will be talking further, which are the third type of cell, which is known as platelet. Platelets, they are known as thrombocyte, reason being there's a protein named thrombin, which help in the blood clotting. That's why. And that is platelet is joining them, those molecule up. So normal platelet, like suppose you're having any injury and your blood is coming out of the place you had injury. So blood is going to release platelet in huge amount at that place. So platelet is going to be activated, and then it will form fiber structure. Fibrin is actually a molecule which help in fiber. Fiber means thread-like structure. That blood, how blood is clotting, blood will be clot by forming thread-like structure. which are known as fiber structure. So a lot of fiber will come, they will form the clot, and to that we call, okay, that is a clot. Blood clot means all the fiber together, and that fiber is formed with the help of this fibrin, and thrombin is also the one coming in the way. They work together. This is the damaged blood vessels. All the red blood cells are coming out and injury happens. So where this fiber are formed? This fiber are formed on the RBCs. If you see that platelets, these are the RBCs and platelets, they are all connected to each other with the help of fibrin. So all the platelets on, they are, covering RBCs. I mean, they are not causing change in anything in RBC, but they are covering RBCs. This is platelet, and in between a lot of RBCs are present, and they will form thread-like structure with the help of fibrin. That's how a clot is formed, and they seal the blood vessel wall. Okay, so that is all about the thrombocyte, and you may say that thrombocyte they also have an age of approximately 8 to 9 days. They are also formed into the bone marrow and die in the spleen. And function is they help in blood clotting. Oh, my laptop gone. Hold on. Charging. Sorry. I didn't realize. So they have an age of 8 to 9 days. Next, spleen. Yeah, I was saying they die in spleen. And next, if a question comes that what is the function of platelet, you will say they help in blood clotting. And if you want to talk about the shape, just make headings while you write it. So they are present in variable shape. That can be oval, circular, any particular shape. So variable shape. So that's all about the platelets thing. So I suppose now everything is clear to you. Now we will be moving forward. And the next thing that we have to cover is blood vessels. Now, guys, imagine you have a water tank in your home, and you have all the pipelines. Wherever water is needed, that pipeline is going in the kitchen, in the washroom, in the sink, in the wash basin, in the garden, wherever. Now, all the pipeline, they have valve also. Valve in simple language. They have valve also for opening it up, closing it up, opening. So these valves are actually maintaining the flow of water. Now, if you relate it to the body, in our body, heart is not doing anything. It is just pumping the blood. It is maintaining. It is a control center. It's maintaining. So it's like it has a lot of blood in it, but it is pumping. You may say it's a water tank in which water is coming from the main source, and then it's just moving up through the blood vessels. Blood vessels are the water pipeline. Through the blood vessel it is moving, and in the pipeline valves are also present. So in these arteries and veins also they are there. So blood vessels are the one which help in the blood conduction throughout the body. Now, if you look at the diagram, and the diagram I showed you earlier also, the blue and red thing, valve are not present in all kinds of blood vessels, I'll tell you that. But these are all the blood vessels which are connected to the heart. What happened? Like we are breathing in, breathing out. Into the lungs, oxygen and carbon dioxide is exchanged. That's it. And that lung is connected to heart. From the lungs, after taking oxygen, blood is going into the heart. And then from the heart, it will be going to all of the part of the body. So heart is not doing anything. It is pumping the blood. It is transporting it up, maintaining the flow. Getting my point? I'll explain you everything about the function part. Blood vessels are of two types, arteries and veins. Why arteries are of red color? Because it has oxygenated blood. Oxygenated means it has a lot of oxygen in it. Veins, it appears to be bluish in color because it has deoxygenated in color. Like literally, it's not like we do have red and blue thing, but we just indicated, just an indication. So this is deoxygenated blood with less oxygen and more carbon dioxide. Anyways. Now the third type of capillary. Capillary is all about different. It is, a mix of, it's a connecting thing between arteries and veins. I'm going to talk about arteries and vein in detail, and I'm doing it right now. guys, arteries has oxygenated blood. Actually, arteries are connected to heart. They take all the oxygenated blood from the heart and give it to all of the body part. So this is moving away from heart. It collect all the oxygenated, which has oxygen in it, blood from heart, and it transport it to all the body part. Veins, this is carrying deoxygenated blood from all of the body part and move toward the heart, because then heart will be taking it toward the lungs where oxygen CO2 will happen. Are you getting my point? So this is moving towards heart, because then heart, I'm going to make it in simple, this is connected to the lungs. From the heart, blood will go into the lungs where oxygen CO2 exchange will happen. After that, with oxygen, blood will come back. The one which is having more oxygen will come back. And then it will be moving toward all of the body part. That's how it happens. So artery is moving away from heart, carrying all the oxygenated blood, and veins is moving toward heart. That all the deoxygenated blood collected from the body moving toward the heart, from the heart to the lungs. That's how it happens. Okay. Now, if you look at more differences, here external elastic membrane, in both of them this is present. And one thing that you have to remember, lumen. If you see the diameter inside the artery, this is less, which is more in case of vein. Lumen means internal cavity. Like suppose there is a pen, suppose this thing is there. If you see, this is a circular thing that I have, what do we call it, as the fevistick. But the lumen is the internal blank thing. That this is the blank thing is lumen. So this is the more lumen. If I compare it with the pen, this has the less lumen, narrow lumen. This is wide lumen, this is narrow lumen internally, the blank thing. Okay. So now the lumen of vein is less, and it is of the lumen of artery is less, and of the vein it is more. Now one thing that you have to remember, if the lumen is less, then obviously blood will flow at a high speed. So their blood pressure will be more, because into the narrow way, blood will be moving at high speed. If it is a wider way, blood will be moving with a less speed. So blood pressure is less. Clear, guys? Okay. So now, if you see valve, because the blood pressure is, hold on, why they have added the diagram is different way. To heart, vein is having more. Hold on, I have to show you a diagram. I'm going to stop the screen share. Arteries, vein, I'll show you a diagram. Hold on. Arteries and veins. Mm-hmm. This difference you can write. I thought I'll show you a diagram, but I have got a picture that can clearly explain the difference of that question coming in your paper now. Give me a second. I'm going to just add that up here. Yeah. Okay, so I'll come back to this point that here blood is moving at a less speed. I mean, the blood pressure is less because it is a wider lumen. Now, one thing that you have to remember, valve are present only in the vein. Okay, only in the vein. Valve are actually maintaining the flow. Valve keep the flow unidirectional, or you may say it prevents backflow of the blood. Reason being, veins are collecting blood from all of the body and it should not move back. So it is protecting. And into the artery, it has to go to move all part of the body. It doesn't require all the valve, but it is present in the vein because it is collecting all the blood and then Okay, now the question comes about the differences. You may say artery carry blood away from heart, carries blood toward heart. Blood under high pressure, low pressure, thick wall, thin wall, pulse flow, smooth flow. Pulse flow as in because of the high blood pressure, and the smooth flow because of the less blood pressure. Narrow lumen, large, and no wall, blood rich in oxygen. These are the differences that you can write. Even if it is a 5 marks question, now you can clearly write it. Now, one thing that you have to understand, arteries and veins, They are connected to each other. Arteries will be forming its branches. We call it as the primary arterioles. We call it as we call it as the arterioles branches. We call it as the primary, secondary, tertiary. And in the same case, venules. The branches of the vein is known as venules. They will form branches and branches on the thinnest of the branches. And then ultimately, the blood vessels are known as capillaries. They are the blood vessels with least diameter. Capillaries have function in filtration. Actually, capillaries are so thin that they do not have any muscular layer and everything. They are like a single celled layer, a layer with single cell. Like there are many cellular layer, na? Because body is made up of cells. So blood vessels are made up of cells. Arteries and veins have so many of the cells covering it. But in this case, just one not only one cell thick means it's just one cell thick. One cell, that thick. Okay. Into the capillary filtration happen. If any molecule has to move out of the blood vessel, they will move through the capillary. Like suppose I told you that WBC, they want to protect us if we have any injury or something. So WBC will come out through the capillaries and they will move in through the capillaries. Plasma and WBC, they can filter out from the capillary. I was telling you now, we do have the lymphatic system. How lymph is formed? Lymph is formed with the help of filtration through the capillaries. Through the capillaries, plasma and WBC come and then they take entry into the lymphatic vessel. And they can come back also from the lymphatic vessel. But my point is that capillary are the one which help in transportation and filtration. They are the connecting point of the blood vessels. Capillaries are also present. Capillaries present in all of the body part. This is also present in the lungs. Like in the lungs, oxygen CO2 exchange happen. How blood move back? First capillary, then they will be connected to the arteries and veins also, because moving back they will be coming like in oxygenated form. Now guys, you have to remember one thing. All artery, they used to have oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Guys, wherever you see the word pulmonary now, that means they're talking about lungs. Now, all veins, I'm going to write it there and with change pen color. Hold on for a second. Now talking about the veins. All veins have deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein used to have oxygenated blood and pulmonary artery used to have the deoxygenated blood. Remember, suppose this is heart. I'm making it in the simplest way. Now you are getting into the science, so the diagram of heart is also going to change. And this is lungs. I was telling you that from the heart, blood is going toward the lung, where oxygen CO2 gases exchange happen. It will move with the help of pulmonary artery. Deoxygenated blood is there, which will be moving with the help of pulmonary artery. From the lungs, when exchange happen, oxygenated blood will come back. And that will come back with the help of pulmonary vein. That's what I'm saying, that from the heart, blood is going into the lungs for oxygenation, for exchange of gases. This is deoxygenated blood that is going. So it will move with the help of pulmonary artery. All artery have oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Now, after filtration, when blood has all oxygen in it, it will move back into the heart because it has to move to all body part and the heart will be doing it. So it will move back with the help of pulmonary vein. All vein have deoxygenated blood except the one which is pulmonary vein, which have the oxygenated blood. And that's it. I suppose that's clear to you. If you did not understand it, listen to me very carefully again. The data, the information that I've provided you is really very important and really very interesting. And we are done with all the blood vessels. Now all we have to practice some questions. So let's do it. Which of the following, this is the main circulatory fluid in our body? Plasma, lymph, blood, All of these. And you people will be like happy like anything. Okay, all of these, because all of these is the most probable answer. And you're correct. Which one of the following contain hemoglobin? I have told you this. RBCs. You know, tip of the day or interesting fact of the day. RBC's hemoglobin used to have an element in it which is known as Fe. We call it as the iron. Symbol of iron is Fe. Into the hemoglobin, Fe iron is present, and that is the one which causes red color of the hemoglobin and ultimately of the RBC. What is the function of WBCs? Transport of oxygen, fight against germs, involved in blood clotting, all of these. I have added answers by mistake in the same, but yeah, fight against germs. Blood platelets help in formation of urine excretion. So why did I add answer on the same sheet, guys? Sorry. Okay, but I'm not added answer of it. Now, guys, before I discuss these points, if a question come in your paper that what is the function of blood, I suppose you can write it that it help in transportation of molecules, transportation of hormones, enzymes, transportation of nutrients. And then you may say that it also help in thermoregulation. Thermoregulation means it maintains our body temperature. Wherever, like, we have a fixed body temperature in us, so blood is having a major contribution in it. Trust me. Okay. Next, it help in osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means water balance. It maintains the water balance because it has a lot of water in it. 90+ % is water only in the blood. So water balance. Transportation is done, thermoregulation is done, and then you can specifically talk on the transportation. Next, you can add function of all the cells. WBC helping in fighting, platelets help in clotting, RBCs help in oxygen transport, and carbon dioxide transport. We breathe out. You can individually talk about them. There are antibodies, there are lymphocytes which are eating up onto the pathogen, to the infectious agent. You can write a full-fledged 5 marks question on this. Now let's see these filling the blanks. Okay, so dash component of RBC, transport oxygen from the lungs to all of the body parts. Hemoglobin. These are the blood vessels that carry blood from the heart to various parts of the body. Arteries. They are extremely thin blood vessels which connect arteries to the veins. Capillaries. I should have at least wait for like 2 to 3 seconds so that you can think. But I'm pretty sure you're so much intelligent to understand the tab. Platelets play a major role in blood clotting. And I'm pretty sure that even if I have read the information, you must have read everything even before I spoke. Dash is the fluid connective tissue that flow in blood vessels. That's the blood. So that is all about that is all about it. Hold on for a second. Oh my God, I did not share my screen. When I did not share, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm going to show you everything, don't worry. All the time you could hear me and the time I added differences between arteries and veins, then I stopped screen sharing. But that's totally fine. I suppose you were listening to me all the time, so you're intelligent that enough. I'm going to show you that information. Oh my God, why did I do it? I'm so sorry. Arteries and veins carries blood from heart. Veins carry blood toward heart. I spoke it up. You can see all the information. So that's what I was talking about, that arteries, they are having oxygenated blood, except pulmonary artery, and veins, they are, moving toward heart, except pulmonary vein, and they're connected with the help of capillary. I'm feeling so sorry, guys. I'm feeling so sorry. I forgot that I have to use picture. But that's fine. Which of the following? Acha, I did not miss much. I added up the picture. I did not miss much. Which of the following, all of these, which of the following has hemoglobin RBCs? What is the function of blood platelets help in blood clotting? Every time I thought I can see the screen, but thank God you could not see. Reason being, then you will not be able to see the answer. And that's a mystery. Nice. Okay, nothing is missed. These are the filling the blank that you did not see. I spoke it up, but you can read it up. Actually, I was talking about the function of blood and I wrote everything, and all the time I was speaking. So I'm pretty sure you could listen to me very carefully. Next is hemoglobin component of RBC transport oxygen from lungs to all of the body part. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry away from the heart. Capillaries are extremely thin blood vessels. Blood may play a major role in blood clotting. Blood is the fluid connective tissue. Now, finally, I'm going to stop screen share because we are done. That's the content. This is the most important part. Take a screenshot, and while the time I talk, you can look at this picture. And I don't think that's very difficult. Okay, guys. So finally, I'm done on this, and we did not miss too much. Just that I forgot to screen share, but that's totally fine because I was all talking about the differences, and you could hear me and just note it down because I'm pretty sure that you people are very much intelligent, and I'll see you up in the next part. I'll take care next time. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you.